Alrighty, old gatekeeper here. We got a Texas Star Killer B 250 high drive. These amplifiers are fairly neat. They are quite different than the regular 250. Well, I'm not going to say quite different, but they are a little different than the regular 250 high drive. Just looking in here, the amp is operational right now, but there are some things that need to be changed in here. One of the first thing I can tell, somebody has already changed the keying circuit, which do go out in here a lot. You can kind of see that. See them long leads there. It's easier for some people to do, just cut the old one off and try to solder them on, but you know, the best way to do is just unsolder everything, get your solder sucker and get that out of there, because them leads are quite long. I think I'm going to take that off and make them leads a little shorter. I'm not a big fan of the small wire leads like this. I mean, look, it's about ready to break off now. Give it a couple wiggles and it's almost ready to break off now. This is a thicker wire. Looks like somebody just put that on there. So I'm going to take off all these. Yes, that thing's not even soldered well. It's ready to be pulled out. So go ahead and take these off right here too. I mean, it's just, look at that. I just don't like that a lot. Not a big fan of the way they do that. So anyway, I'm going to take all these little leads right here and over here too. That's not I don't like, all that has to do right there is be pushed down onto these leads, and you got a problem at that point, especially with the preamp. The padding right here, there should be a 75 ohm pad there, 6 watt. Looks like somebody might have popped it already and replaced it with, I don't know what this is. They're blown so bad. I'm probably going to go ahead and guess that is a pretty low value resistor for it to be blown that much. When you got a resistor in a voltage dividing circuit like this going to ground, it's no longer the bigger the resistor gets, the more resistance is being on the signal. No. The smaller the resistor gets, the more it's having the effect on the RF. A couple other small things. This 120 will probably be okay on this output. It's a 10%, so it's probably closer to 130 what it calls for. This is fine right here. I'm not a big fan of the DM15 on the output transformer, so I might just see if I could change that to at least a DM19. That just literally pulled up, so it's been running pretty much without the right feedback circuit being hooked up. These 511s are wrong values. That's probably choking down the power a little bit too. Those are supposed to be 190s on this exact version, so I'm going to pull them up and throw some 190s on there. Maybe even some 330s, I don't know. I mean, some 180s. It appears that possibly somebody has already replaced these transistors once, and I'll tell you why. Somebody has some 15 ohm resistors right here. Okay, this is a problem, and I'll tell you why. This is going to throw the bias off a little in this amp, man. This amp runs off a voltage divider circuit for the bias. Texas Star, they use them voltage divider circuits for sure. This voltage dividing circuit is using this 20 ohm sandbar, 25 ohm sandbar, 25 ohm sandbar, and this 1.8 ohm resistor, and these two were supposed to be 10 ohms. Okay, so all these together is the biasing circuit. With these being 15 ohms, that's going to throw it off a bit. So we're going to take them out and change them to 10, what they're supposed to be. So we're just going to do a few things, man. I'm going to go ahead and do a power wire change for you. You got the little thin stuff here going into some bigger stuff here. I don't like the electrical tape, not much. I'm not a big fan of it. We're just going to remove all this, bud. If you want this right here, I'll send this back to you. And you can attach it if you wish. You could reuse this for something, no doubt about it. It's best to use heat shrink if you can. I don't even know if these are soldered, you know what I'm saying? These could not be soldered, and that's, you want to try to solder your connection. This right here appears to be some 16 gauge speaker wire, so that's going to be difference in the resistance of the way the power's flowing. So we're just going to take that off, replace it with some good stiff 10 gauge, which is the 10 gauge I use is probably about 2 of these together. And might take this choke off, give you a bigger bead right here. All right, man, let's get started. We'll be back. Alrighty, here we go. Got that. All new components, caps, wire for the power wire upgrade, stress relief. I think that is it. I think that's all we need to get this rolling. Got the 75 ohm. We'll go over to 5 watt. Alright, let's get these old components out. I found a DM, be more considered a DM 19,000 volt 510, which would be a lot better than this DM 15 right here. And luckily, I found 2 matching 190s, brand new. To replace these 511s with. So we're just taking this box back to spec. The only thing I did forget to mention, there's 3 wraps on here. Okay, and the schematics call for just a 2 wrap on the input transformer. So we're gonna go ahead and take them, take 1 wrap out of there. All right, we'll be back. All right, Mr. Geronimo. Well, I won't say that again, man. That's getting on my nerves. All right, Mr. Geronimo, here's your first amp, which I'm calling your first amp of the 3 that you sent. And I will tell you what, man, this Killer Bee turned out absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. This is just me personally, this is the most highest wattage Killer Bee that I have seen on the bench myself. And as you already know, what I had to do, what I had to go through to get this up and going. See, it pretty much was not a repair, so to say. I would say maybe it was around a 15-20% repair, but it was mainly just an upgrade. And I think you knew that when you sent it, that it was going to be more of an upgrade. So I went ahead and just took this amplifier, man, and just pulled up the schematics, and see, I left that little blue there so you can kind of see where the wire's being ran. So I brought up the schematics, and as I mentioned already, I quickly saw there was 1 more wrap on the input transformer than what the schematics calls for. So we took that wrap off there. The input padding, this 75, which this 75 becomes in line once this switch right here is pressed in. That becomes in line with a voltage dividing circuit with a 250 ohm potentiometer there. I don't know what was there before. They were blown pretty bad. So I went ahead and replaced that. Also, the preamp was not working in this amplifier as well, so I had to go ahead and replace that transistor there. And I just went ahead and left this transistor there. It's working just fine. I was thinking about pulling it out, making the lead shorter, but hell, it's working. Ain't really no need to go through all that. And like I mentioned to you, I went ahead and took every piece of wire that was bare wire, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, and changed them all to Teflon. Okay. And as you see, we got the power wire upgrade done for you. Just pretty much kind of done it like the other one I did for you. This right here is 14 gauge wire. So we move from some pretty small 10 gauge wire to some thicker 10 gauge right here coming in. And then from a pretty much a 22 gauge solid wire going through a ferrite bead to some 14 gauge feeding the output transformer. And as you can see, I went ahead and put a 1000 volt 510 picofarad cap there that replaced the DM 15. All the parts are over there. I should have laid them all out. I like to do that just so you can see what was removed from the amplifier. So and like I said, I reran, you know, the wire for the SSB delay up under the board. That's what you see right here. And I just don't like having that wire going over the circuit like that. Alright, but anyway, when I got all this done, the input tune was off. You had about 1.5 watts of input reflect, which is understandable because the input wrapping was changed. Anytime you change any of these wraps, the tune is going to be out, okay? The tune is going to be out. The output, sorry about that, my phone overheated. Alright, let me get positioned over here pretty good. Alright, let's turn this power supply back on. It was already turned on. Okay. Alright, here we go, brother. We're going to hit it with just the 4 watt radio, 4 watts RMS, which is about 18 to 20 watts peak. Okay. We'll go ahead and roll with that with the variable up. Alright, 1000 watt slug. And I think I did mention that I had to, well actually I don't even remember where I left off at. I think I was explaining that I had to, there was some input reflect after that's where I was at, after we'd done the rewrap there. So I had to actually retune the input there. So that's what them 2 caps are right there to equal exactly what I had to retune it to. And after I'd done that, man, this box came alive. No doubt about that. Alright. 1000 watt slug. The 100 is where we're at, bottom scale. The 20 is 200 watts. In between that's 100. Good low dead key. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So right there about 80 watts RMS. Go ahead and take it out. Get that 75 ohm resistor out of line. Oh yeah, there's you about 110 or so RMS. Oh yeah. Here's your input reflect now. Oh yeah. You could believe at that time it was a phone call. I mean, I would just start the whole thing over, but I got a lot to do today, and I'm just gonna let it roll. I know y'all don't mind watching me have to be cut back in and everything. Alright, we were going to show the peak, or was I showing the input reflect? I think I was showing the input tune. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So right there about less than 1/4 watt input reflect. Alright, let's take a look at the peak. Oh, look at that. Getting close to 300 watts. Oh, yeah. That's about 280. 280. Alright. What we're going to do now is we're just going to hook up the hot radio. And I may hook this to the unreg supply just for a quick burp. I'll see how I'm feeling. I'll be back. Alright, we have now doubled our drive from 4 watts RMS to 8 watts RMS, which is more than what I recommend to run with this amplifier. We're just going to do just a quick burp, as I say, just to kind of show just show what it's doing with a little bit more drive. I like to show a good wide range of drive. Alright, 1000 watts. Here's your RMS. Ooh, good God almighty. These things are getting close to producing like some Toshiba 2879. It's gotten bigger. Ooh, look at that, 180 watts RMS. Goodness gracious. Alright. We're going to do one burp. Geronimo, I know you wouldn't mind. I know you personally. One quick burp on the medium tap of the 100 amp supply. Now, this is going to blow your mind. I had to do a quick key before I pressed record again. This is going to blow your mind, man. This bad boy is doing almost the exact amount of power that your 350 is doing on RMS. These two 2290s are doing over 200 bird. Check this out. Like I said, this is the highest wattage Killer B I've ever had sitting on my bench for real now. I know for sure now. All right, we're floating at 18.5, but let's see what we dropped to. 1,000 watt slug. Look at that. All right, that's all we're gonna do with that. That's over 200. 15.4 volts, which ain't too high. That's about the max voltage I'd run with this amp. I'd try to keep it down lower, but PEP, just real quick, we're gonna get off this thing. 400 watts, dead nuts on. That's called smoking right there. I don't care who you are. That's called smoking, and I ain't joking. God almighty, boy. I'll tell you what. All right. Some people, they'll just kind of hit with a single drive and a single voltage, and they'll let it be. I like to, if I can, show a little range of things so you can kind of know what to expect out of the amplifier. You know, when you're doing what you're going to be doing once it gets to the destination area. All right, and one thing I did make sure to do, Mr. Geronimo, on most of your amps, some of them are missing stickers and stuff like that, so I went ahead and put the stickers on there for you. There was one, I can't remember which one it was. I actually took the stickers off and put them back up because they were just pretty bad condition. Also, I cleaned the back up on this one for you too. It was pretty dirty, man. Pretty dirty. All right, well, there's your last amp, Geronimo. You got any more, man, send them back up here. We'll get them straightened out for you. Thank you for your patience. I know you had to wait a little bit for these three boogers, man, but we got you done now, man. That's all that counts, right? Anybody got a Texas Star? You want a full refurb, or what would we call it? Just pretty much a brand new whatever. The front's in bad condition. Brand new front, lenses, whatever you think. I call it like a complete refurb. Make it brand new status. Or you just want something repaired or maybe beefed up a little bit, a Texas Star, some new power wire, something like that. Just shoot me an email at 3manpro@gmail.com. That's Tango, Hotel, Radio, Echo, Mike, Alpha, Nancy, Papa, Radio, Oscar. Sometimes I can say that all the way through like that without having a pause, but I have a pause right there then. At gmail.com, 3manpro. All right, God bless 73rds. Always remember, if it's making the bird watts, the peak will follow. But if you just see it making peak watts and you ain't got a bird meter in line, that don't always mean that the bird is where it needs to be as well. It's supposed to be a hand-to-hand relationship. That's a song right there, ain't it? Anyway, we good and gone. 73rds. Bye-bye. God bless.